Hey, thanks for watching The Horror Show with Sean and Joel. Ain't no other place to go. I'm Roddy Piper.
Thanks. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Horror Show, the show that dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not so favorite horror movies and other horror-related events. I am Sean.
I'm Joe.
Hey, guys. We are back. Welcome back, Joe.
Thanks.
Did you listen to our last show?
I did.
Kind of a mess, but...
No, I liked it. Aaron was a more than capable substitute.
Yeah, re-listening to that, pretty glad we didn't release that Wes Craven memorial. Right when he passed away. Knowing how many people are fans of him, that was just not a memorial.
Nah, let's blame Paul.
Let's
brings out the worst.
I'll blame. He does. He really brings us to a whole other level. If you knew the jokes I edited out of that, which by the way probably weren't jokes, but
just mean comments.
They were awful comments. Holy mackerel. They were something. But yeah, it was an alright show. Guys, thank you for pre-ordering the shirts.
Yeah.
That you really saved me my bank. You saved my bank account a gruesome month of trying to make that money back. So that is fantastic. So those will be going out, or well, by the time this is released, we have sent the order to the printer, and hopefully it doesn't take too long. They say 7 to 14 days, but this guy's been like communicating with me, so I think he's just going to get it done.
Good.
And it's a black and white shirt.
It's insane to me that people are going to wear
I know.
a product that represents us.
I know.
Crazy,
it's ridiculous. Man. It's absolutely ridiculous. So thank you all so much. We really appreciate that. And I think that's all the house cleaning we have to do.
Sounds good.
Okay. But we kind of got off track with our Barbara Crampton Valentine's Day special, which was supposed to be a two-parter including this, and it's past Valentine's Day. So this is just Castle Freak.
Yeah.
Barbara is in it.
Not so naked in this one.
Not so naked, but still willing to seductively open that shirt for a disgusting freak.
You know, we've talked about movie titles. And like how some are like the shopping mall that has nothing to do with it. I love this title.
This title is
what
awesome.
A freak in a castle.
This title is awesome, and I just felt really it just felt kind of hurtful the whole time writing "freak" as that character's name. Like the freak walks into the room is like some of my notes are just like, and here comes the freak. I'm like, oh, it's so fucking terrible. But,
yeah, I call him Castle Freak. Like it's his proper name.
Yeah, same. Like first and last name, Castle Freak. Like. So
that's how he files for his taxes.
Oh my god, this movie, man! I did not know what I was getting myself into. This was my
you had never seen it
viewing.
Nice.
And wow,
this movie, it holds a special place in my heart. I think I told you this, not on the mic, but in person. When it was 1996, so it was summer going into 6th grade. I went up to Cape Cod to stay with my grandparents for a few weeks. And they had HBO, and I didn't know anybody that had HBO at that time. And my parents were like, "Do not watch HBO. You're too young. Do not turn that on." And then when my grandparents went to sleep, I snuck out, and they had the previews, and it said Castle Freak coming on next. So I was like, "Oh, all right, fucking what a great name!" So I stayed up and watched it, and as soon as it was over, I just remember like going into bed, and staring at the ceiling for like an hour, being like, "What the fuck did I just watch?"
Man, HBO used to be like. Yeah, it used to be like that, right? Like, your parents were like, do not turn on HBO.
Yeah, I mean, especially I was going in the 6th grade, so they're like...
Yeah, that was like a no man's land, kind of. Like, they were so rogue. They're just porn and terrible movies, like, really appalling movies. They just put whatever on.
Like Castle Freak.
Yeah. exactly like Castle Freak.
Do you remember the Spice Channel?
Do I remember this channel? Oh, I'm fucking up Joe's mic here. Technical difficulties, everybody. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the Spice Channel.
Do you know anyone that ever actually subscribed to the Spice Channel, or they just stared at the green lines until they saw a nipple?
I mean, that's what I did. I'm sure people did. I mean, you're talking about a time when people would go into a back room that everyone could see you enter and exit to get pornography, but it was in a back room. Like, what? Somebody could have made a fortune by making a back entrance.
Why didn't they have a back entrance? Go in one way. And
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just ring a buzzer and they'll let you in the back and you can get your porn.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
It's like, what if you went in and you came back out and you see like people from like your place of work?
Yeah,
and
everyone was there Friday. Like the place would be packed, and like you'd be coming in, and you couldn't go in the morning because then you look like a real weirdo, like just picking up my porn for the day. Like, oh man, I used to hang out. I was so young. I was like in elementary school, but I would hang out with this guy that ran. The Coils worked at the little insider for our town. The Coils worked at Video Gallery.
Yeah,
and I used to hang out with the older one, Pat, and we would just watch movies and just sit there and watch wrestling and stuff. And guys would come in and return porn, and he would always get so pissed because he's like, "Yeah, they never rewind it, so now I know exactly where they climaxed." And he'd always be so pissed. And it was so funny. They would drop that shit off so fast, and probably because
you have to. You just hit and run,
and probably because there was a fifth grader standing there, like looking at him, like, "What the fuck?" But yeah, weird thing. Getting porn from a video store.
I have a pretty good video store porn story. This was in like 2005, so the internet was very much alive, and there's no way anyone should be renting porn. And I was in the One by Everybody, whatever that was called.
Cheshire. Oh yeah,
whatever it was called.
Yeah.
It wasn't Cheshire Video and Disc. It was the other one. It might have been Video Galaxy.
Oh right. Oh yeah, by Everybody's. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So I'm in there, and they're having like a sale on DVDs. So I was just trying to buy DVDs, and this guy comes in, and the girl who's working behind the counter is clearly in high school. Like I was in college at the time, and this guy comes in. He's like, "I came in here the other night and I rented this porn, and there's barely any tits in here." He's like, "And I want my money back."
No
He's
way.
Like, I don't know if I could do that. He's like, "Well, when you advertise porn, I better see some titties." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my god!
Go on the internet and watch it like a normal human being.
Yeah. Well, oh my god, that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I mean, though, that would be infuriating.
Yeah, but I don't think I'd go and complain about it.
No, it's way worse to complain about it. Oh man.
Or at least complain discreetly.
Welcome to Porn Talk. I'm your host.
So yeah, Castle Freak.
Welcome to VHS Porn Talk. Which Castle Freak?
Strong Sean style.
November 14th, 1995. Straight to video. Not a theatrical release here. Distributed by Full Moon Entertainment. Mm-hmm. Full Moon. That's like a whole series of that's a whole like series of shows in and of itself. Yeah. No, not Full Moon is like Puppet Masters.
Puppet Masters, Charles Manson.
Demonic Toys, yes. Doll Man versus the Demonic Toys. Wait, which is crazy because I remember seeing Demonic Toys and being like, "Oh, this is just trying to get in on Puppet Masters' little run of glory," and then it's the same company. Why would you do that to yourself?
It's taking away competition.
Yeah, you're splitting your fan base. What the fuck are you doing?
They did Ginger Dead Man.
Yeah, I know, and Evil Bong, which just came out. Like it's like a recent one, not just came out. There's already 6 of them. What the fuck? I
don't want to do this.
No, I don't want to do those either. But I'll watch all the Puppet Masters.
Sure.
This is based on The Outsider by H.P. Lovecraft.
Based on is a very loose word.
Yeah, because as I discovered, the only thing that the book has that is also in this film is a scene where the freak looks in a mirror and is like so appalled at himself that he smashes the mirror. That's the only thing that happens in the book and the movie. There might not even be a freak in that book. I don't even know. I'm not even aware.
Just an ugly guy.
Yeah, it just might have been, I don't know. A deformed person? I don't know. Directed by Stuart Gordon, of course. Stuart Gordon has a very distinct style, too. A lot of horror directors, they have their own little touches. Stuart Gordon's, I kind of picked up on this. He likes to kill cats and
loves that,
and have whatever the villain is eat out a female or a dead female or whatever. He's got to have oral
I didn't
sex.
Even pick up on that.
Fucking jerk, Stuart Gordon. Why do you do that? I looked through Stuart Gordon's like movies that he's done because I was like, I felt like he's done so much, but he really hasn't. Reanimator,
Dagon,
From Beyond, Dolls, Dagon. And that's really it. He did Masters of Horror twice.
Yep.
The Black Cat based on Poe.
With Jeffrey Combs.
And Dreams in the Witch House based on H.P. Lovecraft. So this guy cannot come up with an original thought to make a fucking movie out of. He just takes these things and then like probably butchers them. I can't imagine H.P. Lovecraft actually wrote Reanimator.
I haven't read it, so I wouldn't.
I can't imagine there's an oral sex scene or half the scenes that are in that. It's probably just based on a guy that reanimates a dead person.
I don't know. I'm going to go on a limb. And
Why
say,
even do that? Oh, whatever. And then he also has this movie called Robot Jox, Jox.
Yes.
The tagline is the ultimate killing machine, part man, part metal. And I think we have to see that because that sounds abysmal. It sounds so fucking terrible. Oh, man. Castle Freak.
Do you want to play a round of what did this get on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yes.
What do you think you got?
I don't know. I actually really like this movie. A 5?
A 5%. No.
Oh, no. I meant like 50%.
Oh, 50%.
Yeah. I was thinking IMDb stars.
No. A little bit higher.
Really?
Yeah, surprisingly. And I like the movie too, so I don't mean surprisingly like it's terrible. I just didn't think Rotten Tomatoes would rate.
No, I mean what is it?
It's a 63%, which is pretty generous.
That is very generous. Yeah. Holy shit! We need to figure out like there should be a way to be like. By the way, this got 63%. So did like Jurassic Park, like all these great fucking movies. Because I'm sure there's some ones that you're just like, what?
Although now that we're talking about it, I didn't look up how many people voted, so it could have been like 3 people voted.
7 people.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Combs. Yeah, Castle Freak. Oh man, it's so weird to call people freaks in this day and age.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
It's pretty un-PC.
Yeah, Castle physically disabled person.
I would go see a movie like that.
I'd be like, what?
But so it has Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Combs.
How do you feel about Jeffrey Combs?
Oh, wow. I mean, when I saw him in Reanimator, I was like, this is probably this guy's first movie. And like, yeah, I don't know. Like, he wasn't terrible in it. He played that part pretty well.
I think he's great.
Yeah. And this one, though, he seems just off the rails. I don't know what he is pumped up on, but he is not mailing this in. He is.
Oh, he's a poor man's Robert Englund.
Yeah,
it's like he's classically trained.
In.
I have no clue if he is, but he.
Yeah.
This
guy. So he plays the father, John Riley, but we will just probably continually call him Jeffrey Combs throughout the thing.
So, sorry to interrupt you for like the 50th time before you even talked about Castle Freak, but I just typed in Jeffrey Combs, and he went to Santa Maria Pacific Conservatory of the Performing Arts. So I think he is pretty well trained.
Pretty well trained actor. That's good.
He just can't get like theater work. He just stars in Stuart Gordon movies.
Man, like,
acts his ass off.
It's tough in this one though. It is really tough in this.
I liked him.
I didn't mind him. It was weird though because so the story is of a family. John Riley, the father, Susan Riley, the mother, and Rebecca Riley, their blind daughter. We will probably just refer to them as
Barbara,
Jeffrey Combs, Barbara Crampton, and the daughter. But the father is he turns out to be he's an alcoholic or an ex-alcoholic.
Yes,
and yeah, Jeffrey Combs is just overacting this. He's like really. you could tell he's just like, okay, I'm an alcoholic. I have to.
He's playing a man that's haunted by his past.
Weird mannerisms, yes, because he did get into an accident while drunk and killed his son. So he's definitely haunted by his past, and the alcoholism, but he's acting really erratic to the point where I was like, oh man, when he finally plays drunk, he's probably going to be acting normal and he'll be good. But then when he plays drunk, he turns it up. Drunk. He plays wow. Like when I was in like 6th grade and I record my own videos and like I would pretend to be drunk, not knowing what being drunk was, and I'd be like, whoa! That's almost what he's doing. It's almost what he's doing. There's a scene at a bar later where he gets drunk for like the first time since his recovery. His fucking shirt's open and he's just like, dude, swearing.
The camera like pans to the girl so you can't see him, and it's like as soon as it pans back, his shirt is all buttoned, his hair is all disheveled.
He's a mess. He's a mess. Like no one would let that guy stay in a bar that long. They'd be like, please get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Like the bar's closed. He's like, yeah, for me. Yeah,
yeah,
it is.
Exactly. 100%. You're an idiot. But we'll start at the beginning of this film. now that we ruined it. We open up to an older woman.
Older, Sean? She's disgusting. How's she even alive? And dude, when Sean says older, she's like 110, and she's the worst mouth breather I've ever seen. She can't close her mouth. And she's just making disgusting noises.
You know what? We make fun of Paul, but in the last week's episode, when he's talking about that director, I forget who he's talking about, or maybe it was an actor, and he's like, he's so old in this. And it was like, yeah, and when he was in in a movie in the 50s, he was still like, I thought he was 85.
Oh, was it what the fuck?
It was like a French guy.
No, it's the guy. He's in the Seventh Seal, and he's in every movie ever.
And he's so old. And that's what this woman is. I think this woman was 1,000,000 years old when she was born. like she was just always old. Like she might be alive today and be like 70. She was just like,
oh, it's Max von Sydow.
Yeah.
The guy from The Exorcist.
Yes.
Yeah, he was in movies in the 50s. He's playing like people's grandfathers.
Yeah, that's this woman. She's probably been an old woman her entire life. She was probably 25 playing somebody's grandmother, great grandmother. But she's preparing a meal, which is just bread, a single slice of bread, and she's just walking around. It's just setting the tone. She brings the food into. Does she even? Yeah, she makes it to she brings the food to what we find out is the freak, who's in a dungeon of sorts, but then proceeds to whip the shit out of him.
Flogs the shit out of him.
This is definitely a give and take relationship here. She gives him the thinnest, shittiest slice of bread, and then I guess it's a give and give relationship, because then she gives him the most savage beating of his life
for no reason.
So I guess it's just like take and take.
You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that horror movies need more old hags. Like I feel like that was
agree.
Like Pumpkinhead has one.
Yeah.
And like I just love the way that they look and like set the tone.
They're really good. They're just so effective. It's in Army of Darkness too.
Yep.
That old bag of bones is awesome in it.
I just think people don't look like that anymore. Like you take care of yourself better.
Yeah, that's true, right? Like there's no old people that look like that. Like I think
these women, like they do their hair and stuff.
Oh, right. Like they get it dyed and stuff. Yeah. Like I feel like when I was a kid, like you'd go to the grocery store and there'd always be one that you're like, oh my God, that lady is definitely a fucking witch. Yeah. But I mean, that's just what it was. Like people just didn't give a shit as much back then, or the products weren't available, or I don't even know.
Yeah, or you wouldn't be on film every 2 seconds,
and you were just doing your job at a grocery store, not expecting asshole kids to call you a witch. Yeah. By the way, I did not call them a witch. I was terrified of them. That makes it better. But the old lady dies.
Yep,
keels over on her way back to her bed, and that's it. We kind of find out that she's. They do a scene that it was kind of unnecessary, but it just kind of like fades out and then fades back in, and it's been like a year, and she's just a corpse laying in bed. Everything's rotten. Yeah. The cat's dying.
But it's still
another cat death, by the way, because there's no way that cat survived.
No, that's the same cat.
Oh, it is the same.
Yeah.
Cat? Well, then the cat.
Yeah, because the girl finds the cat because they didn't bring it in.
Oh. Okay, so the cat and the castle freak are the only two things on Earth that don't need food and water anymore. So good news, guys. We found them. Because these two things live for a long time without eating or drinking.
Well, I won't say it now. But I don't know how Castle Freak can't eat or drink.
Well, there's a lot of problems with the Castle Freak character that make zero sense. He'd be dead. He'd just be dead.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it now. Actually, his butthole is sewn shut, and he has no dick.
Oh my god! I did not realize that about his butthole. Holy shit! Yeah, he doesn't have a butthole. Oh my god! Oh my god! This is a wow. Holy shit.
Yeah. So,
and guys, don't worry. We can confirm it because it is shown in great detail.
Oh, you see this
so
guy's non-existent junk and butt all movie long.
So many times. I'm just going to, I want to comment on it just real fast because the first time we see him, he's nude. And then for a while, he's just wearing a sheet around like a ghoul, which is just hilarious.
When he puts the mask on.
It's so funny. But he wears a sheet around for part of the movie. You'd think this was an attempt to be like, okay, let's get this rating down to ours. Let's not show this fucking disgusting thing constantly. But he loses that sheet so fast. That sheet's only on him for about 10 minutes of his
Do you
scene.
think Stuart Gordon was arguing for it to be PG like Tobe Hooper?
I
put a sheet over his head.
This is G. This is a family film. Oh my god. So this weird family, which is the family we just discussed, Jeffrey Combs, Barbara and their daughter. The Riley family. They inherit a castle in Italy, which happens to be Castle Freak's castle that they're going to find out. And that's a problem. I don't know why. It's just such a weird story because if you inherited a castle in Italy, you're not going to fly out there and live there for a little while you get your shit in order. You're just going to be like, just sell it. You're just going to tell the lawyer, we just want to sell it.
Yeah, make money.
Put that in place. I don't need to see the castle. I don't need to look at it. That's it.
Also, living in a castle might suck.
Living in this castle would suck dick. And not just because there's a freak that comes with it and a weird housekeeper that's just... Who's paying her?
Well, she sucks at her job because she didn't notice the corpse for a year.
She's terrible. She's the worst. And...
Who is paying her?
No one.
The freak.
The freak is, oh my God, paying her. I don't even know.
Would you watch a movie with the freak going to a regular 9 to 5?
Yeah, I would. Because what 9 to 5 is that? It's like, he asks the housekeeper to lock her back up. There's a lot of holes in this story, but whatever. This is one of the few movies that really gets better as it goes on. A lot of movies start strong and then hit a point. Yeah. This one starts real dumb. And you're just like, what? He should be dead. Cat should be dead. Why is there a housekeeper?
Right.
All these things.
I'm with you. When the gore kicks in, it's when you're just like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yes. We also discover there's obviously some marital issues with this family. Barbara and Jeffrey Combs. Because I keep wanting to call him Stuart. It's because Stuart Gordon. Okay. Idiot. So Barbara and Jeffrey Combs are having a tough time.
Yeah. Their marriage is strained because of the death of the son.
Death of the son.
Jeffrey.
Because he is an alcoholic, was an alcoholic.
He's a sexaholic.
And he's a sexaholic. And
as soon as they get into the castle, he just wants to fuck.
He just wants to fuck real hard.
She has nothing to do with it.
And
he screams at her.
I had a hard time with this movie because I couldn't tell if they were trying to make her look like a nag. Because she's like, he approaches her for sex and she's like, I just can't. And he's like, what else do you want me to do? I haven't done that in forever. It's been however long, he says. And he's just like,
why'd you even come?
Yeah, why'd you even come? Which is so insulting. My wife, why'd you even come if you're not going to fuck me in the castle? I thought that's why we were coming here. And it just seemed like they were portraying her as a nag. And there's some other scenes in it, too, where it just it feels like that's what they were trying to say, but it wasn't real strong. And it was just like, why would she fuck you? You cheated on her.
And you killed her son.
You killed her son. Yeah. It's going to take a while, buddy, and you're just going to have to stick in there. or
And you just made her move to a castle.
And you just made her move to a disgusting castle.
Which I'm very surprised that castle had electricity.
Oh, yeah, it did. Or did it?
Yeah, because lights were on.
Oh, my God.
Moving to a castle is literally like my worst nightmare.
Yeah. And by the way, they had only not had sex in 9 months, so.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
I mean, for what you've done, for all that you've done to this family, you're lucky to have a family.
Yeah.
Fucking jerk. Okay. And we kind of find out about this son. It was weird because they really don't tell you everything off the bat. It was very unclear to me what was happening and why. Because you don't find out even about this. Like, this makes a lot more sense to you guys listening to this. Because the affair was all they mention at this point.
Yeah.
Then he has a dream where he crashes the car and kills his son, but you're not even really entirely sure that happens because, I mean, I don't know, it's just weird. There's so many weird things happen in this. Like later he goes into the basement and
Finds the wine cellar?
Yeah, and he sees his son's picture on the wall.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a dream though.
No.
His son's picture was on the wall like it was his coffin.
Well, see, I felt when I saw the dream, like I knew that he had killed his son. Like I knew that was real.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to sound like an idiot here because then he goes to the wine cellar and he just picks up a bottle of wine. And he just smashes it for what I thought was no apparent reason.
Yeah.
But then as the movie went on, I was like, oh yeah, this guy was really a recovering alcoholic.
Right. Yeah. They don't really explain that.
He was drunk when he was driving the car.
They don't explain that at all. You have to piece that together. And then,
well, he like brings it up like sporadically, and then as it goes on, you realize like it all comes together at one point.
Yeah, and it's just like I feel like they could,
like you said, it gets stronger as it goes on because it all ties together.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess we would probably complain if the movie was like we probably complain about movies where they're just like, "Hey, Dad, I'm glad you're not an alcoholic that killed our kid and cheated on me." Like, then we'd be like, "Oh, it's all in the nose. Let it build." Like,
we would. Yeah.
But like at this point, you're just like halfway through the movie, you're still getting facts, and you're like, "Oh shit!"
Right.
Like
I said, when he smashes that bottle, I'm like, "Why did he just do that?"
It would have changed my feelings about this beginning entirely because you're just like, "Oh, what is happening?"
Yeah.
But oh man, so Dad's a booze hound.
So we mentioned that he has that dream.
Yes,
and then he wakes up and he hears his son's voice, like he hears his son in the castle.
Yeah.
So he goes looking for him, and honestly, that's the last thing I would do if I start hearing my son in my house that is not alive. I'm leaving. And I'm also leaving just a creepy... I would never walk around a creepy fucking castle. Yourself.
Dude, you don't know what that is? It's so fucking old. I would be terrified. There's a park in our state nearby us that has this shitty piece of crap castle at the top of the mountain. Like you hike up and you see this...
Sleeping Giant?
Yeah. You see this crappy castle... And it sucks. And even that's pretty eerie just because there's like bars on the windows and you're like, was somebody fucking murdered here? And then you're like, oh wait, no, they just built this castle in like the 70s.
Yeah, 500 years ago. What, the 70s?
I don't know.
Wait, you think that was built in the 70s?
I don't know. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, I don't think it ever served a purpose.
Yeah, that may be true. But the 70s is only 40 years ago. Why would they build a castle?
I don't know.
I'm going to look that
up. Please do, because now I'm genuinely...
Like 1700s maybe.
I don't know, because why would there be a castle in the town next to us?
But why would they build a castle in 1970?
To like get a crowd for the hiking.
I can't wait for you to be right and everyone's laughing.
But I feel like this is informational for everyone, except for everyone listening who does not give a shit.
Nobody knows what we're talking about.
So yeah. The housekeeper
1888.
Okay, so I mean, still useless. I mean, it was not for anything.
It seems like it served a purpose.
Okay, well, there you go, guys.
I'm not going to read
1800.
The history of Sleeping
Giant. We also find out the housekeeper is kind of starting to key us in on the story, but again, she's the housekeeper. She knows everything, and even she's just kind of giving it to these people in like dribs and drabs. Like she's just like, hey.
Yeah, she's like hinting there might be something
weird stuff happened here.
Why don't you just tell them?
Yeah, tell them exactly what is happening here. And does she know about the castle freak?
I feel like she must.
How could she not? That thing fucking wails night and day. That thing makes so much noise all the time. And they're all like, oh, what was that?
I mean, the only explanation for him still being alive is that housekeeper's feeding him.
Yeah, I kind of just went with the assumption he wasn't eating.
I do too.
I mean,
he still shouldn't be alive because he can't poop.
And he was getting whipped to death nightly. Oh, boy. So the daughter and dad, they decide they're going to go out. So we find the purpose that they're here is to, like, inventory what's in the castle to sell. Like, again, I would just be like, throw everything out.
Yeah. Check every room.
I don't give a fuck.
For wild
it's
animals.
old.
Yeah. Squatters.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like, but they decide to go out and do inventory. They walk into a room that is a nursery.
Yes.
It is the most disgusting nurse. It looks like a dungeon. Yet they're playing like nursery music like it's sweet. And Jeffrey Combs is like, oh, this is so cute, a little nursery. And you're like, what? What are you looking at, Jeffrey Combs? This looks like somebody was murdered in here. This looks painful.
Right.
Like a lot of bad memories here, Jeffrey Combs. I would not classify that as sweet. It is the creepiest room in the history
of... I feel like he should have walked into that room and been like, there's a freak in this castle.
Absolutely. He'd be like, there is something living here that is going to kill us with no dick. Guys, it probably has no dick and no butthole, so be careful. He's probably pretty irritable.
But unusually horny.
and unusually, like, wants to do what everyone else is doing. Just a copycat.
This wants to fit in.
He's just a real mimic. He just really wants to fit in a bit.
Dude, seriously, this thing wants to fuck more than anything's ever wanted to fuck, and he can't. Like, there's no possible way for him to do it.
Oh my God.
Which I thought, having those organs is what makes you want to do that. He doesn't have them.
Yeah, no, he does not have either anything. This is the creepiest room in the history of castles full of creepy rooms, though. And they're cool with it, and they're just hanging out looking through stuff. So yeah, Jeffrey Combs is like looking around this room now. They really, man, the blind daughter thing just gets me. But anyway, he's looking around this room and he goes, looks like someone lived in this room. Yeah, Jeffrey, your fucking aunt or whatever lived in this room. Yeah, yes, somebody lived here. Don't you fucking remember you just inherited it from a human?
Do you know how houses work?
Do you understand anything? Like, what are you talking about? And then he looks under the bed. Oh, this scene is so weird. The daughter's like sitting on the bed with her knees like hanging over the edge, so her feet are on the ground, sitting on the edge of the bed. And Jeffrey Combs is trying to be playful, but starts going under her legs, like crawling around on all fours under her legs. And I was like, woo! And it's just really unsettling because no father should do that to their daughter. Like, she's an older daughter.
Yeah, she's not a little girl.
She's not a little girl. She's like 16, 17. And no, this should not be happening. She's like, Daddy! And he's like, what? He's not doing anything besides being under her legs. Like, and by the way, no 16-year-old girl's okay with that. They'd be like, get the fuck out of here,
I don't want
Dad.
to talk to your dad.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of this room, Dad. I hate you. Go live with the castle freak. And then he finds a whip under there, but he's like kind of unfazed by it. And it is like, it's not a whip. It is like a cat of nine tails.
Cat of nine tails. Yeah.
He's just like,
it's solely made for flogging.
And he's unfazed by it, but later pieces together the entire story solely on the evidence of the whip. He tells us everything that happened just because of the whip. Like,
yeah, it reminds me. Have you ever seen Pumpkinhead 2?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that guy that's in Dirty Harry. He's like the main cop in Pumpkinhead 2. He's like, I've never heard of Pumpkinhead. And then like late in the movie, he recites like the entire story and a poem about Pumpkinhead.
It's totally true. Later on in this movie, Jeffrey Combs just literally rattles off. Which again, like if you're doing that slow burn thing, that's great. But at the end, don't just cram it all into like 16 sentences by Jeffrey Combs reciting everything that actually happened. Because if you're going to tell us, just tell us throughout the course of the movie.
And reciting like a Hamlet soliloquy.
Oh my God. He's so well spoken, Jeffrey Combs. Oh man. So
here's where the cat pops back out.
Yes.
In this scene.
Yes.
It's a classic like horror trope because the cat just jumps out
of nowhere. Yeah. Stupid cats.
And the girl tries to go after the cat and she falls. and she falls like it's a fucking Three Stooges movie.
And
Just she trips over nothing. She just starts like somersaulting.
Yeah. Oh, God. And this is when the cat's murdered too, right? Because the cat.
Yeah, because the cat's running away. She's chasing it, and she can't obviously see.
Yeah.
But she's to the room where the freak is locked in, and the cat runs into the room where the freak is. And the freak wakes up, and the girl is like staring in there, calling for the kitty.
Oh yeah.
And then she walks away, and then after she walks away, she feels like somebody was in there, but not while she's calling or hearing the freak move with his big ass chains.
Yeah, and the cat or the freak just grabs the cat by its.
The cat's trying to come out of the cat door.
Yeah.
Which, why is there? Oh, for the food.
For the food, yeah.
So the cat comes out, and that is a real cat being grabbed by a tail.
Yeah,
pulled back in. By
that
the
was
way.
weird.
That was
weird. I'm hoping they just put it in reverse.
No.
Like he was holding.
There was no way.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That cat was pissed. Did you see his
That
face?
cat was so pissed. And the castle freak, he kind of eats it. I don't even know, because if I've been starving,
he eats the fuck out of it.
If I've been like he throws it back out, it's still got all of its fur. It's just like he ate its belly. It just got blood all over its belly. Like I would have eaten everything besides the bones if I haven't eaten in like a year.
Very true.
Very
true. But then.
The best scene ever in a movie.
Well, it's fantastic, but I do have a major gripe with it, is that he could have done this years ago. But he doesn't now.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yes.
So what he does is he stands up and he wants to get out of his shackles, and it doesn't, they're around his wrist, and he can't get them around his hand. Mm-hmm. So he realizes the only way he's going to get it over his hand is to eat his fucking thumbs off.
Yeah, he gnaws on his thumb, but not like to. I think the simpler thing, and by the way, why this thing didn't do it, because he's so desperate. You could have just bit your thumb off, right?
Right.
He kind of just gnaws at it for a while and then breaks it
and then screams,
in half, and then screams, and then takes the shackle off. You might as well just clean cut, bit the fucking thing off.
I got to give Stuart Gordon credit here, because this scene and many other scenes that come after this, the gore is like top notch, and it's like unsettling, like to the point where like I had seen it before, but even still watching it again, it's like it hits you out of nowhere, because the rest of the movie was kind of slow up until this point, and you're just like, holy shit, I can't believe this just happened.
Yeah. There's right after that. So now the freak's on the loose.
Yeah.
And
but wait, how did he get out of the?
I was just thinking that, and I'm pretty sure he just opened it.
Fair enough.
I'm pretty sure he just.
Don't you think he would have tried to get out of the shackles? The years that he's being whipped.
Well, especially if the door's fucking unlocked.
You could just walk out.
What the fuck? You should have been out of those in no time. This isn't like a government-regulated prison facility. You probably could have broken the shackles by now.
Yeah, you pull a little bit every day. He's really been in there for years.
Oh my God. Like, what the hell? Like, holy shit. And he has been in there for years. He's been in there since he was like 6. What the fuck?
Yeah, so he's out and he's loose in the castle.
Yeah. He's loose in the castle. He smashes the mirror, which we already discussed. And then he goes into the little girl's room at night. Not little girl, the daughter's room at night.
Yeah.
And is taking off all of her blankets. And I forget if he touches her or not, but he might have caressed her head or something. But regardless, he is so close to her and he's taking off all of her blankets.
He also makes weird noises.
I know. Well, that's why. And throughout the movie, they're like, "What was that noise?" And it's like, "Ugh." And they're like, and the daughter's like, "Somebody's here," and everyone's like, "Shut up! You're stupid and blind. Like, just shut up." And their family, and she's like, "No, don't you hear that?" And there's scratching and stuff.
And by the way, do you know how much echoes there would be in that fucking empty ass?
It is just a giant empty castle. He's in a dungeon. You would hear that everywhere. You would hear it everywhere.
I hear it down the street.
Yeah,
and it makes so much noise.
And by the way, everyone in the town is like, "Wink, wink, nudge, nudge." There's something in there. And they're like, "Shut up! You're stupid. Our blind daughter's stupid. There's nothing there." Well, meanwhile, there's just moans all night. Starving freak in the basement.
That's those damn raccoons again.
Just fucking Italian raccoons.
Sound like the Frankenstein monster.
Oh man. Oh god.
So when he breaks that window, did you like Jeffrey Combs' excuse as to why it was broken? It was clearly smashed. He's like, "Oh, the wood warped."
Dude. It's the.
It warped that hard, Jeffrey. I'd be concerned about that. I'd want to leave just because my wood warped like that.
Dude, the cast.
Like it's just not a safe infrastructure.
The mirror's been there since the 1700s. It's not just breaking randomly today. Like, shut up.
Yeah, and for the wood to warp, like the pressure in the house, like get out of there right now.
Oh my god. Ugh. And yeah. And so the freak is taking off her blankets. He's just got like the biggest balls in the world. Like you just got free and now you're fucking around like touching people but I guess later he doesn't have balls, so there goes that fucking joke. Oh man. This is when Jeffrey Combs goes to the basement to get drunk for the first time does he drink or does he just smash the bottle? I don't even know.
No, he just smashes the bottle.
He just smashes. I think he's like considering drinking. It's Jeffrey Combs is really acting the hell out of this. Yeah.
This is when he sees his son's picture.
Yeah, which again is super weird. Like, why is your son's picture there? Leave.
Right.
Unless they didn't send him there to be buried. They didn't even know this place like existed.
Yeah, he should not be there.
It made no sense. The police come to investigate. They've called the police
because the daughter said someone was in the bedroom.
And yeah. And the police are basically like, no thanks. Like typical horror movie police do. Like every horror movie police officer is just like, you're full of shit. But we do know about the town legend. So they do nothing. But they want the police to search the castle, but they decline.
I think don't they look around a little bit?
I don't know. The police show up so many times in this fucking movie. I couldn't even keep track. Like they show up like 4 different times. And
they do. Yeah.
And they're like, now we want to pry.
Well, yeah.
Well, people go missing. Yeah. But, so Barbara and Jeff get into a huge fight.
That's like one of the harshest conversations I've ever heard.
Yeah. Yeah. Talking about their son dying and
him being a piece of shit.
Yeah. He storms out is
an understatement. He runs away like a 6-year-old does when you yell at them.
Totally. Like
he just sprints.
Arms flailing. Like he is just like, he runs out. Yeah. And
he runs to the top of the castle
to kill himself.
Yeah. Which is pretty heavy.
Pretty dark. But I'll get to it later. But
I do like this aspect of him being haunted, though. Like
it's really good. But I feel like it doesn't really... Because this happens in so many horror movies where it's like, I'm going to kill myself or something like that. And it's just to play up. It's just to get an emotion. There's no real payoff. There's no emotional...
There is in this one, though.
There is an emotional payoff in this. But in a lot of horror movies, they have these elements where it's just trying to get you invested in the character. Cheap way. Yeah, just in a cheap way. So they're like, I'm going to kill myself. And then they're never suicidal ever again.
Which I don't know how I felt because he's not a very sympathetic character. Like he's
not at all.
But at the same time, like, people fuck up.
At the end, it's just, it all comes together really at the end. It's crazy. But I have a note here to talk about his acting, but we've already did because his acting here is just
so he obviously doesn't commit suicide, but he goes right back to the bottle. He starts drinking again.
Yes, drinking heavily and goes to the bar where he spends like all day. I guess it was weird because he storms out of the castle in the day, goes to the bar. Then there's a cutaway of a clock and it's ringing, but it's still daylight out. So normally it's supposed to be like night into day, and that didn't happen. It was just day to day. So I was like, did a full day go by? Did he just live in the bar for a day, or did like a few hours just go by?
It has to be a few hours.
Like it's just really a weird thing to do. But he's been in the bar all day basically, and he meets a gal
who is so scantily clad. Like, I've never picked up a hooker, so I don't know what they look like, but do they dress like that in establishments? Like, maybe on the corner.
I don't think they really go to establishments. I don't think that's where their prime clientele is looking to, at a local bar with everyone in town, all talking, by the way, like the cops there, a lawyer's there, and they all know each other. And like, I don't think a prostitute's just like hanging out there, but she is. And he spirals out of control at the bar. He's just acting like a hot mess. Like
we already talked about it, but please know that he is acting like a drunk so hard.
Yeah.
He's hamming it up.
Yeah. And he looks... Jeff, if you're going to go to the bar looking for girls, you look like shit. You look like a bag of shit. You look like hell. Your hair is a mess. His shirt is just open, and he's got a giant bandage on his hand. He looks like a career criminal. He does not look well. And this woman's like, ooh, la, la. Like, Jeff, that's a sign that she's a prostitute.
Yeah, she wants your money.
And he has no idea.
No.
He's a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. You look like shit. No woman is hitting on you. You look like a lunatic foreigner in this bar.
I bet he's the type of guy that goes to strip clubs and then on the way home, he's talking about how she's really into him. He got her number.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And one of the scenes in this that just I laughed out loud during was the bartender. They're in Italy, so he can't really understand the locals. They're speaking, well, most of them speak English. Funny enough, actually, I just thought of that. But for some reason, the bartender doesn't speak English. And he starts waving an empty bottle of Jack Daniels in front of Jeffrey Combs. Jeffrey Combs is going, "What are you trying to say? What are you saying? What are you saying?" Buddy, you just ordered a shot and he's waving an empty bottle to you. He's telling you it's fucking empty.
Yeah. And then a minute after, the girl comes by with a cigarette and just holds it up and goes, the universal language. Bartender's doing the same thing. I mean, I would have a way easier time knowing that there's nothing left than knowing what that girl's doing and putting a cigarette in my face. Yeah. And giving it to me.
I'd be more scared of that, yeah. Because I'm saying, order a drink, and he's waving an empty bottle. What are you trying to say? What is this? What is this? He's so stupid. Oh, my God. Yeah, so those two go
Maybe
home.
He does play a drunk well, because honestly, that's probably how like the majority of us.
We've probably done that. we've probably done that in Willimantic a few times. Like, what are you trying to say? Why are you waving that empty bottle in front of me, you idiot? Speak my language.
And they're clearly telling us.
And they're clearly speaking English, and they're like, "Sir, we're calling the police." These two crazy lovebirds, though, they go back to the castle. Why would you go back to the fucking castle?
Get a motel. Your family's there, Jeffrey. It's not how you do it.
Brings her back to the wine cellar, and they go to town.
He goes to town.
He goes to town hard. Stuart Gordon's lovemaking scenes are just out of control. They're just so graphic. They're so always includes oral sex.
Yeah,
he's always there to make the ladies feel good. Which props to Stuart Gordon.
I agreed. Yeah,
he's always looking out for the ladies first. So.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot.
No, it's usually just disgusting, like throw her down, rough sex. No woman would ever love. It's like every movie though, or it's just overly passionate and gross.
She had a nice little bush area down there.
Oh yeah, we see full frontal, which was that was something.
A lot of hair.
I
was like, oh yeah, this is the 70s, and I was like, oh wait, this is 1995.
Yep, and in Italy. So they bring her home. The castle freak is watching them.
Yeah,
while they're doing this, and so we need to point this out just for the sake of later on. Jeffrey Combs, I hate talking about sex scenes. It's so weird. Jeffrey Combs is like passionately sucking on her boobs. I hate talking about sex scenes because I don't even know what to call them. Boobs. I don't want to say like vile, like gross words. So it's just like boobs. It's like the only say.
What's a vile word for boobs?
No, like being like sucking on her tits. Like I don't want to say shit like that.
So you say sucking on her boobs.
Well, then I don't want to be like suckling on her breasts. Jeffrey Combs is suckling. Jeffrey Combs is sucking on her boobs, and the castle freak is watching. But this comes back later. It's the only reason.
And we had already said that the castle freak mimics people.
And Jeffrey Combs also performs oral sex on her.
Yes.
He does these two items for sure, besides having sex with her. She asks for money. Jeffrey Combs freaks out and is like, what the fuck? He loses his mind.
Well, he does stop because I think he comes to. He has like a moment of clarity.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true. And he like wants to run away. Yeah. And yeah. Or he does run away. Runs away like a lunatic. Again. Like a 7-year-old. Just running away from his problem.
I'm running away from home.
Oh my gosh. And yeah. So he runs away. The cops the next day.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Can we just mention again that this is the scene where when the freak is watching, he's wearing that big bandage over his head.
Yeah, this is all of a sudden he's wearing sheets. Oh wait, were the sheets supposed to come from the girl's bed? Is that why he took them off?
Oh, because he smashed the mirror, so he knows that he's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, and then he's like, I need some sheets. I'm gonna go steal them from this sleeping girl.
He's pretty with it, man.
Yeah, and then also not at all. Because like there's probably 1 million sheets in that house you could take. Or 1 million. Dude, you're just a freak.
Yeah, you're right. That is why he took the sheet.
Yeah. Oh man, that's not explained, but yeah, that's funny. Yeah. So he's not wearing a sheet, and the way he has it wrapped around him is just the funniest, scary. It's funny and terrifying.
What are those wrestlers' names that wrestle with El Matador? Or no, El Torito.
Oh, the Matadores.
Yeah, Matadores. It's like the Matadores.
Yeah, like it's just like holes for his eyes, and it's just kind of like it's fully engulfed in his head, except like the corner of his mouth, which again, there's no part of his mouth that looks normal. So he's not like, you wouldn't see him and be like, oh, okay, that's fine.
But you wouldn't see him and say, "Oh, that's fine," anyways, because there's somebody in your house wearing sheets on their head that you took from your daughter's bedroom.
Yeah, yeah.
And he has no other clothes on.
Yeah, and you see his disgusting legs, and he's like 8 feet tall. Police come over. They're investigating a missing person, right? Yes, the missing prostitute.
Yes.
Which of course causes another fart.
Fart?
Probably caused a fart too, but it caused a fight with Barbara again because obviously he's fucking a prostitute in their home.
Sure.
And again,
she's not nagging.
And again, Jeffrey Combs kind of goes back to like, well, where else am I supposed to do? And it's like, not fuck a prostitute in your house, a strange woman in your house that is now missing. Jeffrey, get it together, Jeffrey.
And while the police are looking, you find that the hooker has been shackled.
Oh, boy, yeah. So, this scene... I thought the thumb scene was crazy. And a lot of movies have that thing like Green Inferno does, where they waste the good kill like early on. And
right.
You don't see anything like that level again.
Right.
This just keeps going.
So before she gets shackled, though, she's about to leave, and she sees a rocking horse, of course. And... It's swaying, obviously, and then she just gets covered with a sheet. So then the police come, and then we see her, and she's been shackled.
Yeah, she was incapacitated earlier, but now she is shackled and coming to. I guess the sheet knocked her out. I don't know.
But here we finally see the.
And the castle freak is yanking her and slamming her up against the walls with the chain.
We finally see the freak's nether regions.
Yeah. Oh boy. So he's covered with the sheet. Does nothing for him, still looks absolutely horrible. The prostitute, I mean, she's terrified, obviously, but it looks like she's like, all right, I'm going to seduce this thing and figure out a way from there, probably bite off his dick. So she goes to like grab his dick, and we see the most disgusting prosthetic dick. I don't know. So there's two really bad ones.
Wait, you think there's something there? I thought it was just like...
There's like a thing. There's like skin. It's like a giant skin tag.
Yeah, it's like an outie belly button.
Yeah. It's just awful. It's just...
I didn't think it was his dick. I just assumed it had been cut off.
I think it was... I don't know what it was.
I think he'd been castrated, and that was like the scar tissue.
Oh my God. Well, it is terrible. I don't know what's worse though. Is this worse than... What was that trauma movie? Terror Firmer?
Oh, Terror Firmer's worse.
Yeah, that was pretty disgusting. Well, Terror Firmer had all this hair on it that was like, looked like it was just like wet and glued down. Oh, it was so good.
Terror Firmer was a real dick.
Oh man, what if it was Lloyd Kaufman's dick?
Good for him.
Yeah, because he'd probably be like, "Oh, this is hilarious. My dick is so funny. let's just do this." But yeah, his dick is disgusting, or whatever it is just. I was honestly like kind of queasy when I saw it. It was really rough to see, and unfortunately, like I really thought that was like again a big reveal. Sheet covers it. That's it for the movie. That's all the dick and butthole we get from the movie. But no, we get it so much. I mean, there are scenes where he's just running around fucking naked, jumping naked.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So the prostitute freaks, she tries to attack him. But he can't. And she starts making out with him.
Yeah. Which is disgusting.
So appalling. So appalling. And then she I think she hits him with like a wine bottle and tries to split. And that is a bad move. Bad move. He gets her, pins her up against the wall, and now does his mimic routine where all he wants to do is be Jeffrey Combs and fuck a girl. So first thing he does is bites off her nipple.
So he tries to suck her nipple, and he bites it clean off. And I have to say, when I watched this in 1996, this is the scene that stuck out with me for for all these years. Like, I remember being in high school, and this kid Greg said that he'd seen Castle Freak, and the only thing I asked him was, how awesome was that scene when that girl's nipple got bitten off? Like, it was fucking insane.
It was insane, man. It is brutal and crazy, and they just cut away real fast, and we're like, you're just kind of left with this like, holy shit,
you feel like sick.
It's what is happening to this poor woman in the basement? And we cut to Barbara, who is now like trying to pack up and leave because she wants to leave Combs. Yes, for so many reasons, leave.
Yes,
leave the castle, leave him. I'm okay with all of these decisions. Yeah. And the daughter's like, no, we have to support. She's like, if he's drinking again, we need to be there for him. No.
Yeah, you don't know how life works.
Yeah, you are a stupid person. You are a stupid person. Combs is now at the bar also getting legal counsel.
Yeah.
From the housekeeper's husband. Fun fact. If your husband is the only lawyer in town, you probably don't need to be a housekeeper at a castle.
Did we mention he's getting it because he's a suspect?
Oh, no. But yeah, so like the cops are pinpointing him, obviously, because the prostitute was last seen with him at the bar. They left together. He is the suspect, for sure. And no one is to blame but Jeffrey.
Right. You know what's kind of infuriating is that was it the police or the lawyers? I can't remember. They were talking in Italian for like a good minute, and there was no subtitles. So you're just listening to people talking.
It was crazy. It was insane. And then, yeah, that was weird. And this lawyer looks like the most slickster Italian used car salesman of all time. He just does not even look like a lawyer. He's like, ooh, I don't know. We'll see. What? You're not even giving him real answers.
Guar's manager.
Yeah.
Sleazy P. Martini.
And he takes a call, though, and he finds out that there was a purse in the castle because his wife, the housekeeper, had found the prostitute's purse, obviously. Now things are not looking good for Jeffrey Combs. So the housekeeper decides to do a little follow-up, see if she can locate the prostitute. Oh, man, this scene. Holy shit. Yep. So she's walking around. She goes down. She screams out loud, steps back. And you're like, what the fuck did she just see? Then is like, oh, let me take another look. Looks, and then we see what she's seeing. And this is the castle freak going down on the prostitute who is dead. But he's not going down. He's eating
her vagina.
Not
eating her out, just eating it like a meal.
Eating her like a meal. There's blood everywhere. Such an unsettling scene.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Even talking about it right now makes me feel a little queasy.
We had somebody on our Facebook page. Sorry, I don't have it up, so I can't give you props right now. But somebody said, we should do a show on our top underrated movies. This might make my list.
I've been saying that for years, son.
This might make my list. This is brutal. Like, this isn't just bad. Like, this isn't gore it is gore for the sake of gore. It's not, though. It's so good. It's just really good gore.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking batshit crazy.
I'm with you. Don't get me wrong. It's not a 5-star movie.
No.
It's not. But, if there was a movie that somebody hadn't seen, I'm like, you want to enjoy yourself?
Yeah.
Watch this movie.
If you like horror movies, you just have to watch this movie because
it's called Castle Freak.
It's called Castle Freak. Holy cow. Yeah, and he catches the housekeeper. Go figure. Because he looks up from what he's doing, sees the housekeeper, grabs her, and just beats the shit out of her with chains. Absolutely brutal.
Yep. So I guess the house that answers our question from before, that she wasn't feeding him. I don't think she knew he was there. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's why it's weird. That's
unless she was shocked that he escaped. I don't know.
No, I think they were just like, fuck it. Yeah. So the police are back. Barb lets them in and takes them downstairs to see what Jeffrey... They hear banging, massive banging. And they're like, what the fuck is that? And she's like, oh, it's just idiot Jeffrey Combs in the basement. And so they go downstairs to see what the fuck this maniac's doing. He's just exhuming a coffin, no big deal. This won't piss everyone off even more.
And the reason that he's doing that is because he found out that his father never married his mother, and he didn't bury a boy. The freak,
dude,
the freak was supposed to die.
Is this story clear to you?
No.
This story, This story is
I'm sure it's clear to everybody else, but
this story is the most unclear thing I've ever heard. I had to go on the Wikipedia page and read about it, and I was like, I did not get any of this because it was just so, like, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't fucking know. I just don't know. So he pulls out this coffin. It's a little kid coffin, which is always the fucking worst to see. Opens it up. There's nothing there. And he's like, see, and this is when he goes on his rant. He's like, see, there's no body. Here's what happened.
Yes,
My dad had this baby with this woman. She faked his death, put him in a dungeon for no reason, but this is just thinking. Puts him in a dungeon. The whip upstairs, she's whipping him because she's got to take it out on my dad. I'm like, how could you have ever pieced this all together?
So that old hag was Jeffrey Combs' mother.
Yeah.
Which means she had him at the age of 80.
But was she, that's where the confusion is, because I thought when they said they inherited the castle, it was from like his aunt or like the Duchess. I don't know. Cause he's like, she's a Duchess. Like they have so many questions about her.
But his mom was a Duchess, right?
But he didn't know her?
I don't know.
Oh, he went and lived in America with his father? Is that the story?
Yes.
Okay. Glad we're figuring this out on the show. Probably should have had a talk beforehand. Think about these shows that these other people listen to that, you know, they have all their facts straight. Like I don't listen to the horror ones, but I listen to other ones, and they can like tell you everything about the movie. And
we just wing it.
We're just like, wait, what? What the fuck happened? So Jeffrey Combs is dead. It's like, no, he's not. He's alive. It's like, what? I thought he was dead the entire movie. So goddamn dumb. It's insane. So yeah, they see him, and he just riddles off all these things. The coffin's empty. Fake the kid's death, and they use the whip to punish him. So strange, but whatever. The cops walk in, and at first they find Combs, but then they're walking around again, and they find like the most heinous crime scene of all time. Absolutely heinous. And what's worse is they find the dead prostitute with no nipple and couldn't even a mutilated nether region. A dead housekeeper beaten to death. And they show, it's not like the focal point of that shot, but if you rewatch that, it is a fucking crushed skull. It is a skull that is crushed. Like looks like it was run over by a car.
The effects in this movie are
so good. And
underrated.
That like made me like sick too. I was just like, fuck. Cause when he's whipping the housekeeper, you don't see a whole lot.
No.
It's like kind of just him whipping the ground. And then you see this corpse and you're just like, here's the worst part. Along with the police officer was the brother of the prostitute.
Yeah.
And the prostitute has a kid. They just threw that in for sympathy points, which was crazy. They were like, that was so emphasized. It was like, she has a son. So the cop is the brother of the prostitute. And then also with them is the lawyer who's trying to protect Jeffrey Combs and the husband of the housekeeper. Yeah. So both of those people walk in on the crime scene of their loved ones.
Yes.
And Jeffrey Combs standing there like, I didn't do it.
But what I love is that the lawyer starts strangling Jeffrey Combs. Yeah. But he was talking to that woman while Jeffrey Combs was sitting right next to him.
Yes.
So shouldn't he have been like, wait a second. There's no way he could have. He could have done this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oops. That lawyer dropped the ball. That's a shitty lawyer.
Well, I guess maybe not, because when they went to the house...
I mean, you see your dead wife, you're probably going to just...
kill somebody.
Yeah. Especially the guy that's fucking drunk all the time. It's like, I didn't kill him. Even though they're in my basement.
What are you trying
to tell me? I'm down here opening coffins.
Yeah, opening coffins. Such damning evidence.
Yeah, it's like terrible. Like, imagine if the cops come to your house and they're like, let's just check this guy out. There's a murder in the area. Let's just fucking check it out. And you're just like, oh, hey. And you have a coffin in your hands. And you're like, just fucking digging up dead kids. Don't worry about me. And obviously Combs is now arrested for murder.
Yeah.
And now the castle freak, we're getting real we're coming into this third act, like real strong. The castle freak is just killing cops. Cops are looking for evidence.
He eats this cop's eye out.
Oh my God. One of them, it's kind of like ridiculous, but one of them is just walking and a chain drops from the roof, like the ceiling, and around his neck and yanks him up, breaks his neck, kills him. And blood is you just see his feet kicking and blood is just pouring down. Yeah. another cop's just walking around, gets his eye just eaten out of its socket.
Yeah.
Probably nearly impossible, especially with his mouth, but I will ignore it because it was
awesome.
Absolutely awesome. And the freak finally gets a hold of the daughter.
Yes. Kidnaps the daughter.
Which is, yeah. I mean, he's really just doing everything he wants, so I don't know why he's like, I'm going to save this one for later. He's really acting very irrationally. So for him to be like, I'm just going to take you. I'm just going to take you and hang out for a little bit. I mean, he does want love. He does want love.
Yeah, like I said before, for somebody with no dick, he sure wants to fuck.
Yeah, yeah, it truly does. And the freak is trying to... There's some things in movies that I can't stand. Some are irrational. Most are irrational. One thing I hate is when there's like a monster. Listen, I know the Frankenstein thing, like the sympathetic monster, like, but even Frankenstein could kind of talk. I just hate that. I hate nonverbal creatures that are like, and like pointing at fucking 6 different things and telling like, and this blind girl, it's like, you're her son? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she's having like a conversation with herself about the perfect boyfriend. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, and also I love when the castle freak realizes she's blind. He's like trying to show her pictures of the son, saying like, I'm her son. And he realizes she's blind and like a cartoon waves his hand in front of her face and is like, oh, she's blind.
The mummy from Under Wraps.
Yeah, like kind of does like a shoulder shrug, like, oh, yeah, I get it, she's blind. Like, what? No, you've been in a cave since you were 5. You don't know what blind is. I don't think. Like, how would you learn that?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
You would just kill her. You would just like poke out her eyeballs with your thumbs. Like, you'd just be so mad. Oh my god. Yeah, and this is crazy. This is so crazy. So the freak gets really freaking weird with the daughter. Really freaking weird. He's like, but he's not biting her. He bit everyone else. He's bitten everyone in the fucking movie. He's not biting the daughter. He's just drooling all over her. He's like,
he's being gross.
Yeah, he's trying to be passionate. He's trying to have passionate love. And he's just slobbering all over her. And by the way, her reaction is not what it should be. She should be releasing blood-curdling screams. Instead, she's like, oh, like, what the fuck? Especially when you're blind. That sensation must be awful. Oh, my God. And she's about to do something, but Barb interrupts. She had been knocked out earlier by the freak. She interrupts, screaming, take me. And listen, I'm all for seeing Barb get undressed, but not under these conditions. Because she's just enticing this freak with the only thing this freak wants. Just some boobies to gnaw on. So she starts undressing, and it's like the least fun undressing of Barbara Crampton I've ever seen. I was just like, no, don't do it, Barbara. Keep your clothes on, please. But the freak bites. Well, no pun intended. The freak gets up to go after Barbara, and she's got a kitchen knife, and she just fucking stabs him right in the back. And daughter and mom take off. Thankfully, they escape that horrifying thing, because I was really, honestly, super afraid of that.
Yeah, and they go into a different room and they hide, and the freak is just walking around whipping the shit out of things.
Everything, just whipping things, and they're running around the castle. They're trying to get out. They finally escape, and this is on par with Toolbox Murders, Coffin Baby flying through a window. Because they were on one side of, like, okay, so you're clearly on one side of a you're in this spot in the castle. They're running around clearly that similar area. They run out a door, and into like a courtyard, and like surrounded by the castle. And from an opposite side of the castle, from a window 4 stories in the air, Castle Freak comes launching out of the window, butt ass naked through glass, and like lands on his feet and is like, what the fuck? Like, what's up, bitches? Like daddy's home. Like, what? Dude, that guy's been in chains and shackles his whole life. His knees would just turn into dust.
He has so much stamina for somebody who's never moved.
Dude, so much stamina, agility. His bones would have just crumbled into dust. He would have just had no lower torso. He
has such bad osteoporosis.
Not to mention he's 8 foot fucking tall. Like, Larry Bird couldn't walk around after like 13 years of just being athletic. Like, Larry Bird played basketball for 13 years and was like, I can't walk anymore. Like, he was being athletic. Castle Freak was chained up, did nothing. No muscles. jumping out of fucking windows. It was
Also, he doesn't know the layout of that castle.
right.
Like,
you haven't gone through that castle since you were 5. I mean, maybe he's spent the last few nights just like,
I get lost.
I need to figure out this place. I need to figure out my new home. Let's get cozy. I wish there were scenes of this, like almost like Home Alone style. Like every time the family goes to bed, he's like up, like lounging, watching TV, drinking their drinks, leaving like water rings on the table,
trying to find nipples on the Spice Channel.
Dude, I could write this. I'm rewriting this movie right now. Finding water rings on the table, and Barbara's like, "Jeffrey, are you drinking again?" He's like, "No, I swear to God, I swear to fucking God."
Just setting up.
It's just Castle Freak drinking at night. Oh man. So yeah. So I was like, so yeah. So he's chasing them around, and he's now fully nude again, which is again fucking gross, gross as shit ever. It's also gross because he's just like lunging. He's always jumping. It's just dicks just in front of your face, or it's like a behind him shot of him chasing him. It's just his sewn up butthole, which I didn't even realize until now. Oh God! And he's just chasing him around. And Combs is under police custody, and he gets out in the most absurd fashion possible. They're interrogating him at the police house. Cop gets pissed, beats the shit out of him with his baton. And then the cop's like, I gotta go do something, and just drops the baton on the ground. It's like, I just pummeled him. He's dead. I'll just go leave the baton on the ground.
Right.
Jeffrey Combs wakes up, grabs the baton, and like Three Stooges hits him on the head and runs out of the police house. Good for you, Jeffrey. Those police are terrible. And then we're wrapping this up. The freak is chasing the family around. And he's jumping so unnecessarily for a guy with no muscle mass. They walk down like 4 stairs, and Castle Freak jumps down the 3 stairs. You could just run. And he jumps like a little like cat. Like he's just like, wah! And he lands on both feet. Like fucking ridiculous. That guy I bet Jeffrey Combs was pissed at that actor. He was like, this guy did not take this role seriously. This guy should
have been living in a castle for months before filming started.
I would imagine if it's Robert Englund. He has the family trapped on the roof. The family gets to the roof. Worst possible place you could ever be.
Jeffrey,
I imagine there's a million ways to get around a castle without having to get on the roof.
To go to the roof. It's a huge castle.
It's enormous.
Why can't you just leave the front door?
Yeah.
You have a car.
And this thing.
Go to your fucking car. Why would you get cornered on a roof? And then Jeffrey shows back up. And he engages the freak in physical combat. Sean, would you fight someone that looked like that?
Well, I don't. No, mainly because his dick's out. Like, I really have a thing with not fighting naked guys. Like, I'm running away from a naked guy. Like, if you're gonna fight me fully nude, you've won. You've won. You are much crazier. There's no chance I will come up with anything remotely crazy enough to kill you. Because if you're running around naked,
Jeffrey's like he's like rolling around on the ground with him, like wrestling him.
Yes,
there's no way I would do that.
I mean, I guess if my family's about to get their nipples bit off,
they're fucked. I'm going home. I'm getting in the car.
And Dad comes, and there's like an epic standoff, and there's like it's almost like the old Star Trek. Like that old series, the original series, where like Kirk is fighting, and it would like cut to them, and they're just kind of like, they're just like jockeying for position. They're just like circling each other, and that's kind of happening, and it's just absurd because it's Jeffrey Combs, and he's all into it, and then there's just this fucking disgusting dicked thing doing the same thing, a monster doing the same thing. And Jeffrey Combs kicks him in the dick, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But like, he doesn't have one. Why would you think that would be effective?
It didn't affect him at all.
No, because he just kicked him in the skin. It's a cool battle, though. I didn't actually mind it. It was a good fight scene. There's not a lot of fight scenes in horror movies, you know.
Yeah.
It's usually like a pissing contest, a one-sided thing, or just like, hey, Jason. Jason turns, it's like, eat shit. And then like they throw like a fucking cross through his head or something. I don't even know. Just the dumbest shit. It's always one thing. And this is like a fight. Like, this thing is human and they're just fighting. It's pretty cool. The freak's back up. He attacks Jeffrey Combs, takes him down, but the freak thinks he takes Jeffrey Combs down, and the freak thinks he's got mom and daughter right where he wants them. And you see Jeffrey Combs take the shackle, put it on his own fucking hand.
Yep.
and he jumps off the roof.
Yeah.
Taking the freak with him.
I loved it.
The castle. A totally fucked up ending. And I'm not going to I don't want to overstate this. I don't want to make this seem like I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. But truly an emotional ending. You're like, when this happens, when Jeffrey Combs fucking kills himself.
For his family.
But also in a selfish way too, because he's obviously suicidal. He hates himself for everything he did.
Yeah.
He can't bear it. He can't live with it. And he fucking kills himself. And while at the same time saving his family, it's just holy shit, that is way too heavy for a horror
I didn't think
movie.
it was selfish. I thought it was a good redemption tale.
Well, it is. And I selfish is too much, but I mean, I meant it in the sense that he was also doing it for himself. He did not want to live on this earth.
Right.
He was too upset with himself. He knew what he'd done, the damage he's caused, and he felt like a world without him is a better place.
Right.
And that is so fucked. So fucked. And I don't think I'm overstating that.
No, I don't think you are.
It was crazy. There's not a lot of horror movies that even try to end it like that.
Yeah.
They don't even give it a fucking effort. They just do whatever they want to do. Yeah. It was nuts, man. That was...
I really, really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And
strongly recommend it to anyone.
The end was also really good because we see Barbara and daughter at the funeral. And basically the whole town is like, yeah, we fucked up. Probably should have looked in the basement. Although I think they had every right to think Jeffrey Combs killed it and not assume there's a castle freak in the castle. Although everyone was everyone was kind of like, be careful in the castle. Everyone knows the story about that castle.
Well, there's always legends in any town
true.
you're in, and you never go
I guess
verify.
That's true. I guess that's true. I guess if a string of vandalisms happened in our town, they wouldn't be like, well, Cropsy's the thing. Maybe we look into this Cropsy character. It's just not like that.
Cropsy's a legend in lots of towns.
Yeah, I did. I only know that because there's a documentary.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene really at the end that's pretty brutal where Barb is walking away from the funeral and she sees the cop that, was basically always gunning for Jeffrey on the street next to the funeral, and he just takes off his hat and you're just like, fuck, dude. Stuart Gordon, what the hell, man? This is deep. You trying to send home a message
I think he's a competent filmmaker.
I do too. It was really done well. I think maybe just bit off... The story is just so outrageous. There's no way you'd fill in every hole.
No.
There's so many questions. And I'm really curious what happened to the dick. Did it get whipped off?
I don't know. I would like to know that.
What'd you think about this movie?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. I've been saying for years that I think it's like I said it earlier in the show. It's not a 5-star movie. It's not the best horror movie of all time, but it is a great under the radar movie to watch. If you've never seen it or you want to show somebody that wants a movie that they've never seen, show them it.
So under the radar, so damn good. Oh man, I honestly couldn't get enough of it. I actually ended up watching it twice because I watched it way too early because we ended up not recording. And then I was like, okay, I think I need a refresher just to make sure I knew everything that was. And I honestly thought maybe I didn't pay attention enough because I didn't understand the story. And then I didn't understand it again. So it was a wasted second watch. But it was really good. I really enjoyed both times I watched it.
It has its flaws, but it's super enjoyable.
I know what movie
the gore is just I mean, if you're gonna watch a movie called Castle Freak and not think there's gonna be flaws, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, and that cover with his disgusting face. Of course, this is gonna be a mess. This is gonna be a real messy situation. But oh man,
well, the original covers the blind girl whose boobs are falling out of her shirt for some reason.
Oh, that's right.
And the freak's hand coming from behind.
Oh my god, that's right. Yeah, that was. Oh god, dude. Oh my god. After you watch this movie and you had that VHS cover sitting in front of you, you'd be like, I don't like this cover anymore. This is a 16-year-old girl being molested by a fucking dickless creep. Oh man, guys,
we playing any games today?
No, I didn't prepare any.
Damn it.
Sorry guys. Again, I told you they would happen once. That's all you get. No, we'll plan something for next week. We'll do something for next week. And we'll tell you our movie for next week online. I'm not even sure. And t-shirts so the pre-order is closed. I don't know how I'm going to handle it, if I'm just going to immediately put shirts up again, like as soon as we get the order or what, but I'm going to close the ordering for a little while and then doing another announcement, because I feel like that's more fair. So that way, first crack to everyone. Then we could post pictures of the actual shirt, because I know some people don't like ordering based on a thing. Actually, I'm terrified I'm going to get them and like the image is going to be like 2 inch by 2 inch in the center, and I'll be like, oh shit. There goes all that money.
Change your name, move to Canada?
Probably. No, we have a lot of Canadian fans. They will track me down and fucking kill me. So that's it for today, guys. That was an awesome episode. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I like talking
about that. Was fun. I was super excited to do this. Like, after I watched it, I was like, holy fuck.
Sean, I've been wanting
Maybe we should watch good movies. Because honestly, when we watch some of these bad movies, I'm like, don't even feel like recording today. I think I just want to drink.
I've been wanting to talk to somebody about Castle Freak for 20 years, 1996.
Oh man, Maybe we'll have Paul call into the next episode and just get his thoughts on Castle Freak and just play them for everyone, because I'd really like to know what he has to say about it. I feel like he's got some good comments. No, he doesn't. No, that's just something completely rude, probably about the girl getting her nipple bit off that I'll just have to edit out completely. All right. That's it for this week's episode, guys. Thank you all for downloading. Thank you so much for buying the shirts. It's ridiculous. It's awesome. You guys are honestly the fucking best people ever. And yeah, it's just so cool. So rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. If you do leave a review, send me an email and I will send you stickers. We've been getting a ton of reviews, so it's been awesome. Yeah, don't be afraid. Email is I hate horror. Oh boy, I don't know what the email is. ihatehorrorshow@gmail.com, or Sean@ihatehorror.com. Both work again. And leave us a review or do that, or just tell your friends, because honestly, that's the best thing you can do. That's what helps us the most.
Yeah.
What else do we have to do? I forget all of our plugs now. Oh, Twitter. I'm at I Hate Horror Show. At I Hate Horror Show.
Wait.
Dude, I am the pits.
Forget your Twitter handle?
Joe, I don't know if I've ever known it. At I Hate Horror Show. Joe, what's your Twitter handle?
I'm at Jovi421.
We're on Facebook, facebook.com/I Hate Horror. That's probably the best place to join us in conversation. So much talk going on there. Our fans are awesome. We talk about horror movies.
Yeah.
Go figure. But we also talk about rap music. That happened this week. That was crazy. A lot of notifications while I was at work. That was fun. And I was trying to think about something to annoy you all with. Like, I was just going to be like, I couldn't even think of anything just bad enough to put in. Like, the Bartman. Do the Bartman. Number one favorite rap song of all time.
Lucas with the lid off. Remember that?
Yes. But yeah, come join us on the Facebook page. It's really cool. We're also at ihatehorror.com if you want to listen to the show that way. We're on Stitcher, all those things. And thanks, Harley Poe, for allowing us to use the song Gorehound off the album Pagan Holiday. Really appreciate that. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's it. Anything else we need to plug? New shirts are coming out again. We'll announce them on the show.
Yeah, I think it's good.
And that's it, man. So for Joe, this is Sean. Stay weird.
Thank you.
Adios.
Do you remember, I was just laughing at the end because all I could think of is you asking what a Langolier was and then Paul describing what a miniseries was for like 2 minutes.
Dude, wait a minute.
You're like, no, I don't even.
Wait, what episode was that in?
That was like,
Was that the creature feature?
the round table. The response was